2007 Tahoe with a 5.3 comes in with complaint of no power. Test drive while data logging shows that I cannot get this thing to go over 45 miles per hour. Right away, I see 8 codes. 3 of them stand out to me, the rich on both banks and the random cylinder misfire, P0300. I think they are closer to the root of the problem, and I think the other ones, the heater circuits, are not going to affect the way it runs, and the knock sensors are probably a result of it running so bad. Check battery and charging. That looks good. Coolant temp, that looks fine too. Moving on to misfires, and there's definitely a problem on bank 2 going on. So let's move over to fuel trims, and it looks like it's all 0%, which tells us that this is open loop and the computer is not using the O2 sensors, but that doesn't mean they can't tell us any bit of the story. Right away, I see on bank 1 there is pretty high voltage on the upstream, and the rear O2 sensor on bank 1 also agrees. So it looks like there's plenty of fuel or burning out the oxygen. On the bank 2 side, looks like we are flatlined low, like there's too much oxygen, not enough fuel. And the rear O2 looks like it's just kind of dead in the water, sitting right at the middle mark, probably because there is no heater working on that thing. Which doesn't explain the rich on bank 2 code, but we do not know how long ago that code was set. Because if we find something catastrophic like a rotted out frame, then there's no sense in putting the money into any further diagnosis. So when looking underneath, immediately we see the bank 2 cat is pregnant. Well, we know that that had to have gotten really hot, and it only gets really hot when there gets to be a lot of fuel running through that thing. So there is more to the story, but testing does end until this is replaced. After replacing the converter assembly, as expected, we still have problems, and it is still misfiring on all cylinders on bank 2. Next, we check spark and find that spark is very weak on bank 2, and we track this down to a bad ground on the opposite side of the block, underneath the exhaust manifold. Now, after replacing those, driving it, looks like the misfires cleaned up quite a little bit on number 3. That could be from a fouled out plug, not sure. But moving on to the fuel trims, hey, at least we have fuel trims now. But there is quite the discrepancy between load or cruise and at idle. So being negative at idle and high at cruise screams mass airflow sensor. Let's get that replaced now and go for another test drive. So now on another test drive, this time it looks like the misfires have completely cleared up, and the fuel trims are a whole lot more in line at cruise. At idle, it is a little bit negative, around the negative 9, 10 mark, but as far as this goes, this thing is good and ready to ship. The first 15 minutes is about ruling out what isn't the problem. That's why I built Pit Fusion. Log the drive with the app and compare it against known good data in the web account. See it at pitfusion.com.